Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Welcome to Afrodess Media, your number one online inspirational TV program. And this is Coffee with Val Show. Today we are talking about saving, budgeting, the importance of saving. Why do you need to save? Why do you need to have some amount in your bank account or just as your savings or investments? Why do you need them? So joining me today to talk about the important topic is a very amazing and beautiful lady and woman of God, young woman of God. I really appreciate her presence in my life. Yeah, tumetoka mbali. And it's been long, by the way. We knew each other in high school. It's been over 6 years, just imagine. And I'm happy to host her today. Thank you so much for coming. You're welcome. And remember, before we engage in this conversation, remember to subscribe to our channel and also check her videos. Utazipenda sana. Ni topics za maana sana, by the way, and today's topic ni ya maana pia. So everyone should be engaged, everyone should be involved. Welcome to Coffee with Val Show.
Knowing where your money is going. I started doing minutes for the organization where I was working with.
So Eva, why do you think it's really important to save?
Oh no, at the end of the year, when they're calculating, they have, you have specified, how much you want to go into this and this. And so for me, I've always
welcome to Coffee with Val Show.
Hi guys, my name is Eva Wambui, or Miss Eva Wambui. I love God and I love sharing about money. Money is very close to my heart, and having a finance background, I think it gives me an edge to talk about finance and share with people what options are there in regards to savings, budgeting, and all of that. And so I'll be sharing with you a little bit about that. Other than that, I am an administrative support expert. So yes, that's what I do on the side. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eva, for creating time to come to Coffee with Val Show. Karibu sana huku.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, and as you've said, you like talking about money. Your name betrays you anyway.
Eva.
No, not Eva.
Yeah.
Wambui.
Because, okay.
Besha.
Besha.
Tueleze more. Why do you like talking about money and finances and budgeting, saving, yote?
I think for me, it came from, or the first time I learned how to interact with money is just seeing my mom being able to manage the little that she had to ensure that I have the best life. She came from a very, very humble background, and she sacrificed the little that she had to make sure that she has taken me to good schools. I had the best of materials. How I lived could not be compared to like the money my mom was getting as her salary. And so from that time, like I knew that I want to be able to give my children, my grandchildren, basically my future generation, I want to make sure that I build a legacy for them.
Yeah.
And money is important in building that legacy, but also making sure that money is not an idol, an idol for you. And so that is where like my love for money came from. And so I remember, like, I think all through my life, I've always wanted to have money to do something. I've always had a goal. I remember an instance where I wanted to go to makeup school because I thought I'd be a makeup artist. But so what I did is I went to town and I bought earrings. And I came and I went and sold them at the university that I was studying in. And within a week, I had raised enough money to go for a masterclass in town to do a 4-hour a masterclass, a makeup masterclass. And so for me, saving for me has always been key. I always have a goal and I want to achieve that goal, and I will do everything it takes to achieve that goal that I desire to achieve. Yeah. So money for me is important.
Money is really important.
It is important. Yes, it is important. Yeah.
Wow, you actually managed to go to the school you wanted to go to.
I did. I went. It was just a 4-hour. It's a master class, one day, 4 hours, and we were taken from start to finish. The skin and all of that, and applying foundation and the finishing and all of that. I you know what? I even went and bought like a makeup kit. I bought materials because I knew I am becoming a makeup artist. I think I did it for like 2 or 3 days, and the passion went.
Then you didn't do it for passion?
I wasn't doing it for passion. Okay. I think I was just trying to see whether this can be an income generating opportunity. But I was like, hey, this is not for me. It's not for me.
How much were you able to save?
The makeup class costed 3,000. Okay. So I went to town, bought earrings at 30 shillings, and then went and sold them at 50 shillings. So I got money. I made enough. I think my investment was like 1,500 or so. So I was able to double. So I only had 1,500. So I needed to double that money so that I can attend that masterclass. So that's what I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a great idea. And I'm sure you were young by then.
Yeah, how many years ago? Maybe 3 years ago, not long ago.
But you're still young.
I was still young. Yes.
You are still young.
I'm still young. Okay. I'm still young.
And that's a very good culture that you started to come up with when you were still young. So at least when you grow up, I mean, as you continue, you're still inculcating it and giving it to other people, because that's what we need to get the habit. You grow up with the habit, you keep saving. It's a good habit anyway.
You're right.
In this era of today where we really need financial freedom, independence, can we really get to it? And how do we get to it?
How do we get to financial independence? I have not yet gotten there myself, but I am making steps. I'm making daily steps to ensure that I get there, because again, everybody has a goal that they need to achieve. You probably want to own a house in the next 10 years. You want to buy a car in the next 2 years or so. You want to build a school. You want to have a big business and all of that. And so these are some of the goals that each and every one of us has. And so every day you need to do something to ensure that you get there. And saving is one of those things that enables you to achieve financial independence. And even before we get to saving, we have something we call budgeting. Because where do you get the money to save?
That's true.
So that means if you're earning a salary at the end of the month, or if you have a side hustle, or if you have a business, you are putting away some of that money and not using it right now to take care of your expenditures. You're probably paying for a car, maybe through hire purchase. You have electricity, water, house rent, or even bills, mortgage. So it's just budgeting so that I can spare 5,000 every other month to be able to do this other thing that I want to do. So before we get to saving, you need to budget for that money. You need to know where your money is going, at the end of the day. And so budgeting is important for you to be able to save, for you to get financial independence
and freedom
and freedom
that we all desire.
Yes, exactly.
So Eva, why do you think it's really important to save, to budget, to be careful about our finances?
For the future.
It's for the future. Actually, that's a good point, because I normally believe that when you have faith that you will still be present tomorrow, then you need to put something aside for it.
You need to put aside something for it.
And if you have people depending on you and all that, at least.
So there's I like that you've mentioned faith, because the other question would be, the Bible tells us, do not be anxious about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. So now, does that mean I sit back, I don't do anything?
No, you can't risk.
You can't risk. Yes, we trust, we trust in God's word, and we have faith and we believe in God's word, not to worry about the troubles and whatever. But we need to make a plan, because if you don't make a plan, you plan to fail. You need to make a plan. And so we save, basically it's for the future. You want to mitigate something in the future. For instance, let's say insurance. Why do we pay a premium, let's say for health or for retirement? It's because we want to mitigate something that might happen in the future. We're not saying that I will get sick, that's why I'm getting health insurance, but I'm getting health insurance so that when that time comes, because life is a season.
That's true.
You know, things come and go. And so I'm getting health insurance so that I can be able to access good medical facilities at that point where I'm not feeling well. Probably you end up with a critical illness. And so the insurance helps you to mitigate that, so that you're not going back to your pocket.
That's true.
From your savings, from money that you had put for your kids or for a project to finance your hospital bills and all of that. And so saving is basically for the future. Why do we put away money for retirement? It's because there's a time that will come when I will not have the same energy as I have right now. When I get to 60 or 65 or 70, I just want to sit in my house and have my grandchildren bring me some tea, and I don't need to worry about waking up early at 5 to go to work, to hustle, because I did not plan.
Age would you like to retire?
Ideally, I would have loved to retire at 40. Ideally, if I had a choice at 40.
That could be a goal.
That could be a goal. But I mean, technically, I think the retirement age, I think maybe based on, like the work that I'm doing right now, I think as from 50 I can retire. But if I had a way, and I know I will find a way,
amen.
It's possible, just investing here and there, increasing your sources of income, you can definitely retire earlier than what is expected a retirement age.
With a good plan.
With a good plan, yes, with a good plan. You're right. Yeah, but you'll have to sacrifice a lot. For that, yes, for that.
If I've seen you doing amazing videos online on your channel, on your YouTube channel, by the way. Eva Wambui, Miss Eva Wambui online. Her videos are amazing. Tips about saving. How did you manage to save 50,000 and your salary was 20,000 Kenya shillings?
It is very possible. It's very, very possible to save 50,000, or rather, I saved 50,000 in a span of 6 months with a salary of 20,000. Now, it takes me back to budgeting.
Yes.
Knowing where your money is going. When you get your salary, do you know how much you're paying for food, for rent, for electricity, for water, or for what other expense? For hair, when you're going to the salon.
For airtime.
For how much are you tithing and all of that. Once you have taken care of those, I would call them mandatory bills, because you have to pay rent. Otherwise, the landlord will come and close your house. After you've done that, what is this other amount that remains? You ask yourself, what else can I do with this money? But then again, you need to have a goal. It takes us back to the beginning. You need to have a goal. Why are you saving? Once you save, how will this money help you? How will this money help you to invest? Or what are you saving for? And so it's important to budget and know where your money is going. And another thing that I'd like to mention is that you can have a goal, but you probably don't know where that money is going. You've done your budget and you have 0 shillings. Like yenye unaweza sema 2,000 can go to savings. So what can you do? And you still have a goal. You can go back to your budget and realign your expenses. And this is where it calls for sacrifice. Probably your food budget is 4,000. Unaweza sema, I want to reduce my food budget. Instead of 4,000, I will spend 3,000. So this 1,000 that I'm saving, that I'm not going to spend on food, I am going to, transfer it to do. I mean, you're going to save it for something else. You can go and say, maybe I am paying for Netflix, and you ask yourself, do I really need Netflix. Can I survive without Netflix?
Yes.
And actually, that is something that I'm contemplating right now. Like paying my Netflix subscription. I'm like, okay, how many times do I even watch Netflix? I'm at work the whole day. I come back late. I don't even use it.
You're tired.
Probably just the weekend. So as you're trying to look for places where you can source money for saving, go back to your budget, see what you can sacrifice, see what you can live without, and then just use that money that you won't spend on something into saving. And so that's what I did.
Even just something on that point before we forget.
Yeah.
There is a challenge here. People say, most people and myself as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say that this product is cheaper here. It's more expensive here.
Yeah.
So if I buy this cheaper place, I'm going to save a certain amount of money. But then I don't save the money eventually. I've just cut the cost.
Yeah.
But I did not save that money.
You did not save that money.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You did not save that money. You just reduced. Reduced that cost. You're right. So now that money that you have not spent, that you would have otherwise spent on food or something, instead of using it, sometimes you can say, nimepata dosi, let me go treat myself.
Exactly.
Let me do this and this. But you can be sure if you have a goal, every extra money that you get, you will channel it to that goal, because you want to achieve that goal. That's at true. The end of the day. And so those are some of the things that I did. I remembered sometimes, when you're going home, you've allocated money for transport. But that day you either get a lift or somebody pays for your transport.
Or you pay a lower amount.
Oh, yeah. So that's 20 shillings you have saved, or 30 shillings, or not saved, but you have not spent, or 50 shillings. Take it to where you're saving. Take it to achieve your goal. It's not, it shouldn't be an opportunity to now say, now I can
use it on something else. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah. But if you have a goal, then you'll do everything it takes to achieve that goal that you have. Yeah.
And also on savings. I'm coming to that point of you must have a goal.
Yeah.
Because someone would ask, I have saved this amount of money, so what next?
Yeah.
You said I need to save and all that. So should this money just be in the bank? Or I should have it physically, or what should I do with it?
So now the smartest way to handle money is not to have money here in M-Pesa or in your bank just idle and doing nothing. You need to do your own research on where is it, can I put this money to multiply. You might be saving for, maybe you want to start a clothes business and you need like 30,000 Kenya shillings, and you're saving, let's say 3,000 every other month, and you expect that in the next 10 months you will have your 30,000 Kenya shillings. Now, instead of just putting that money in M-Pesa, where it is not gaining any interest, it is just there. And then there's also the temptation. I mean, having money accessible to you is a temptation in itself.
That's true.
And so there are various places where you can put this money that you're saving. We have money market funds, and this is where different fund managers or investment companies pull funds from different people. And once that money is there, it can be able to do something substantial. For instance, if you have 1 million shillings, Val, and I have 1 million shillings, we now have 2 million shillings. The 2 million shillings can be invested together with hundreds of thousands of other people who are investing money, so that you can be able to gain interest at the end of the day. So that's what money market fund is. There are different companies who offer this facility. Do your research. It depends on your needs. It depends on the history of the company. Again, we've had so many scandals of companies that have gone bankrupt, or they were not true to their word. So do your research. But money market is one avenue where you can put your money. Most money market funds right now, they offer an interest of between 8% and 12% per annum. So if you put 1 million Kenya shillings, at the end of the year, your money would have grown by 12%.
Yes.
So that means, what is 12% of 1 million? That's 120.
Around
120,000.
Yeah.
So that means at the end of the month, your money has grown with 120,000 Kenya. At the end of the year,
that's good money.
That's good money. 120,000. I know of one of my lecturers once told me that he had 6 million Kenya shillings in a money market fund. And what that means, if you have 6 million Kenya shillings, how much, and you're getting 10% interest per annum, you're getting about 600,000 per annum. That means you're getting 50,000 a month. Val, if you had 6 million somewhere and you're getting 50,000 every other month, now the 6 million is not going anywhere. It is just there. See, you can build yourself you can put a wall for your house.
Absolutely.
So you can pay school fees for your children, and you still have the 6 million. But even before you get to the 6 million, this person had to invest consistently over a number of years to be able to increase that money. And so we go back to discipline. We go back to, saving as much as you can. We go back to compound interest, which we haven't really mentioned, because compound interest is where your principal amount and your interest money and your interest is compounded. Okay, now I'm using technical terms.
That's why I'm lost. Terms. I think I need to have a pen and paper.
There's this saying that says, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Let's use an example of 1 million. You have 1 million shillings.
Yes.
You're getting 10% interest per year. So you'll get 100,000
per year.
So now at the end of the year, when they're calculating, so the compound interest is compounded monthly.
Yes.
So in the following month, you have 1 million was your principal. Your 1 million has gained 100,000. So now when they're calculating your interest for the next month, they will calculate interest with 1,100,000 shillings, not just the 1 million shillings. And that is the power of compound interest. Interest is calculated on accumulated principal and interest. Yeah. And so if you do that for the next 10 years or the next 15 years, just contributing 5,000 a month, as much as you can, and over the years, you continue growing. You won't remain with your same your same income. You continue growing, so you can continue increasing this amount of money. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to gain financial independence,
and freedom.
Yes.
Let's go back to your technique. You didn't finish explaining
how I saved the 50,000 Kenya shillings in 6 months with a salary of 20,000. So I've talked about having a budget.
Yes.
And so out of my 20,000 salary, I had already paid out my electricity, my water bill, my house rent, expenses in the house, food, and all of that. I saved 6,000 from my 20,000. So I was only spending 14,000 on all my other bills. I never bought anything extra like clothes or shoes. So now this is where sacrifice comes in, where you are foregoing, your
wants.
You're foregoing on the needs. Exactly, and you're foregoing gratification right now for a future benefit. And so every month I saved 6,000.
Wow.
For 6 months, that is 36,000. So now we are shy of 14,000 to get to 50,000. Now, what you have your job that you do on a daily basis. When you realize that it's not meeting all your needs, or when you realize that you'd like to do more, then here is where you start thinking, how can I increase my sources of income? Do you have a talent or a gift or a skill that you can monetize? And I remember mentioning in my video that I bumped into writing minutes. That is like the weirdest of jobs that you could ever think of. But writing minutes. So I got this gig of writing minutes, and I stumbled into it. I don't know. I think it was just God. And so I started doing minutes for the organization where I was working in, and they said I was good. And I was good really,
You can't really tell on your own.
But also, I was able to, like, I sampled, like, different minutes from different organizations to be able to know, like, which is the best format to use, what can I pick from here, and then I developed, like, my own format of doing minutes, and people liked it, and I got money from it. And so
I think I need that format.
You need that format. And so you can monetize any skill that you have, any gift that you have, any talent that you have, because you are good at it. and make people see the value of that skill that you have and monetize it. And that is how you're able to make extra money. So that's how I was able to make extra money. But also I got another job at almost at the same time to offer administrative support.
Wow.
And so that's how I was able to fill up the other 14,000 so that we can have a total of 50,000. But the point is here, other than from your income, what else can you do to increase your, other than your salary? Can you find other sources of income? Do you have a business that supplements your income? Can you monetize a skill that you have? Have you already invested in a money market fund, in a circle, somewhere where you're getting dividends, where you're getting interest? Because you see, these are sources of income. For the person who has 6 million, the example that I used, and he's receiving 50,000 every other month, that's 50,000 on top of his salary. So you see, that is income, extra income at the end of the day.
Your money working for you.
Money is working for you. You're right. Yeah.
And you said about your salary. What about those who don't have salaries, the ones who live from hand to mouth? Can they also practice savings, budgeting?
Anybody can practice savings with the little amount that you have. We probably have somebody who works at industrial area and goes for casual jobs every other day, and they earn 400 shillings. And it's not even like a constant job. You're called today, tomorrow there's no job.
It's not constant.
The point is saving as little as you can. If you can only save 20 shillings, then save that 20 shillings. There's no shame. Save that 20 shillings. There's one Bible verse that I love, that if you're faithful in small things, you'll also be faithful in big things. So whatever God has enabled you at this point of your life to have the resources, save your kidogo, save that 20 bob. You see, when you send money, let's say for students who receive money from their parents for maybe rent for their houses or for pocket money, you do not have to use all that money on food. Say, okay, my parent sends me, let's say 5k every month. I don't have to use all that money. I can say I will survive with 4,000 and then I will save 1,000. If you do that for all the months that you are in university, by the time you finish university, how much money will you have?
You'll have made money.
You'll have made money. You can go from there, you can start a business. You can even start a business while in school. And so just save as little as you can. If it is 10 bob, save that 10 bob. 20 bob. If you can save 1,000 bob, save that 1,000 bob. Yeah, as little as you can. You start from there. That helps you to build the discipline. So that at the point where you're earning 1 million shillings or 2 million shillings, you're able to put about maybe 600,000 without any struggle, because you already developed that discipline from that time when you were earning little. I think one other thing that I love talking about when I'm talking about money is tithing. And just realizing that that job that you go to, that hustle that you have, God put you there and God has given you the strength to do that. Even that business idea that you have, it is God who knew that you would accomplish that business idea through you. And so it's always good to give back. That 10%, it's important. And there's a way that just God multiplies that 10% that you give. There's a way He doubles it and duplicates it and triplicates it, and and so tithing is important as well.
Wow. So let's all remember, even as we save, as we use our money, let's remember to tithe, because God also will reward us as we do so. And you do it with a clean heart, not because I'm just doing it because it's a rule in our church, it's something to be done. Just do it from the bottom of your heart, and surely you'll see the reward.
And not doing it because you are expecting something in return.
That's true.
You're doing it as service to God, because you know that you're appreciating God for who He has been in your life, but also you know that this money will go and advance the kingdom of God at the end of the day.
Absolutely. That's Eva Wambui. What's the right age to start saving and building these habits?
There's no right age, because you can start saving as little as 2 or 3. I remember my mom, when I was younger, she signed me up for a junior account at Consolidated Bank. Maybe I don't know if that bank is still there.
Consolidated, I don't hear about it nowadays.
I'm not sure,
So
but maybe it merged with another bank. But I had a junior savings account, and I didn't have money. But what my mom did, at the end of the day, she would give me her coins, and they had this carton with like a dark, very nice, with like a small hole where you just put the coins. And so I just put coins. That money, I think it was a way of my mom empowering me to realize the importance of saving for the future. I remember, I think part of that money, she used to give me all her coins, 20 shillings, 10 shillings. I put them there, and I think when we went to like, it was full, so we had to go and ask them to open it and have the money. I think I had like 7,000. Wow. From 20 bobs and 10, and I was very young. So what happened is, I think this money paid my school fees, if I'm not wrong.
It must have paid
something, but I know it did something good. But you see, I remember these small things that my mom did to empower me and to teach me the importance of saving money. And these are the same things that I'd want to pass on to my kids, to my grandkids, to the people around me. And so even as parents, it is important to teach our kids from as early as they are able to talk and understand. Teach them to save for a rainy day. Teach them to save for the future. Teach them the importance of, putting away money, for a goal. If you're saving for a goal or whatever it is that you're saving for, it's important to teach them from an early age, because then they grow up with these principles and they are able to apply them, and they're able to pass them on to future generations.
And eventually we'll have a saving culture.
We have a saving culture. You're right.
It's been noticed that Kenya has a very low saving culture. It's not constant. It's not really a good culture, but we can drive it. We can inculcate it in people. We can help people save. And after saving, the small scale traders and all that, there are some places they can invest their little money.
So I mentioned money market fund. That is one place where you can invest your money. And maybe just to repeat what I said, it's just where this is whereby funds are pulled from different people, and then when it is in bulk, when you have 50 million shillings.
When you have 50 million shillings, sorry.
So when you pull funds from different people, when a fund manager pulls funds from different people, we have 50 million shillings, then it is easy to invest 50 million shillings in Safaricom or in, maybe Equity Bank or whatever companies we have, than if you have 100 shillings.
That's true.
It's true. So you pick 100 from me, from you, from, 100,000 people, then all that money is put together, then it is able to be invested, and at the end of the day, you get your interest. Even with the 100 bob that you invest, you still get your interest. Another place where you can save money with a goal is a SACCO, because what SACCOs do is that you're able to access credit, and credit is basically loans. So you want to buy a car, probably you want to get into the Uber business, or you want to buy a matatu so that you can get into, public vehicles business. What you do is you save some amount, a minimum amount in that SACCO, and then you are able to ask for a loan 3 times or 2 times or 5 times or 4 times, depending on the SACCO. They all have different minimum qualifications, and you're able to access credit. So if you want to buy a car, Val, and maybe the car that you have costs 1 million shillings, then you can save 300,000 or 350 in a SACCO. Once you get your target, probably the SACCO is giving you 3 times that money. You're able to get your 1,050,000 Kenya shillings. You buy your car, put it into the Uber business, do whatever you need to do with it. But at the end of the month, you pay back the loan in installments. So SACCOs is also a good way to save your money in, so that you can be able to access credit. One thing to note, I know SACCOs are not, a SACCO is not like a bank, where you save money and then at the end of the month you go to deposit. It's like you're going to an ATM to withdraw the money. I know there's some SACCOs that are like enable you to like withdraw your money, but the goal of a SACCO is to enable you to be able to access credit. So you save, ask for a loan, get the loan, and then pay back the loan, and your life continues, and you're able to gain assets in the process. It enables you to develop a discipline and a culture of saving and just being committed. But then at the end of the day, it takes us back to financial independence
and freedom.
Because
that's the goal.
That's the goal. Yeah.
As we conclude, Eva, maybe just give us some tips on how we can save effectively and to develop the discipline that we need to save effectively.
Okay. I know that people who struggle with saving, the moment they get money, inaisha, I think one thing, especially for people who struggle with saving, you have the money, but you don't know like what to do with this money, or how to ensure that every other month you have put away money aside for the goals that you have. One thing is you can automate some of these saving processes. For example, if you receive money via your bank account, what you can do is you can go and talk to your bank and have them put up a standing order in your account, such that when money hits your account, you have specified how much you want to go into this and this and this. So either if you want to process all your bills in the house as well, like that, that's okay. So that when money hits your account, 20,000 goes to house rent, goes to your landlord, electricity, and all of that. And even when it comes to now savings, you put savings in that category. So if you're saving with let's say a money market fund, obviously they have a bank account. So just automate that. Your goal is to save 3,000 a month in a money market fund. So just automate that process, so that when you receive now the money that you receive, after you have paid everything you have saved, now you are free to use it as you wish, knowing that you have already taken care of what is important. And this includes retirement, insurance, if you are able to get. And if you're not able to get the this, I don't know how I would call them, but any other insurance other than NHIF, and for retirement NSSF, because obviously you have to pay like a higher premium than what we pay in NHIF. If you're able to, then go for that also alongside NHIF, because NHIF and NSSF are statutory. Like everybody who is employed is required to pay that. So automate your processes, automate your paying of your bills, so that as soon as money hits your account, then it pays all your bills, and you do not have to worry about, you have money here, but now you are seeing a bag that you want to buy, but you have 3,000 that you need to save. And so you are torn between what do I do. So just automate it, so that whatever remains now, you are free to use as you wish. I think the rest is now self-discipline, just knowing deep in your heart that you have this goal, and there is no way to go around this goal. You need to work towards that goal. So self-discipline. You receive money and you do what it's supposed to, or you take it where you desire it to go. Is it a circle? Is it if maybe for those who are interested in buying stocks, if you're interested in buying shares, then go and increase the shares that you have, buy the shares that you desire to have. And so if you need help, automate the process so that you don't have to worry about the money, but also self-discipline will definitely take you a long way. And this also, I think that I love knowing where my money is going, so that I'm able to know I'm able to know how I am doing.
Or to gauge the success of the process.
Yes, so that I'm able to know what can I change, what do I need to improve. So it's good for everybody to know where your money is going. You ask people, how much did you spend on food this month? And you have no idea. And you realize when you now go and do the math. Actually, in a recent YouTube channel, I told people to go do the math. How much do you spend on food? You might realize you're spending more than you expect to spend. Maybe in your mind you're like, maybe I spend roughly 6,000 or 5,000 on food a month, but when you go and do the actual math, you might realize you're spending 10,000 or 15,000, and that is where you realize, oh wow, okay, there's something I need to do here. And then you might be asking yourself, why don't I have money for saving? So when you go back and know where your money is going, you're able to know where your money is going, and you're able to know how to make an informed decision on what you can sacrifice, on what you have spent on that you do not necessarily need, so that you can cut back on those costs.
Yes.
And so it's important to know where your money is going. This takes us back to budgeting. Budgeting is key. It is key. It is key. And even train your kids like how to budget. As young as they are, teach them how to budget, instill this discipline, instill these skills in them, because that knowledge and that skill will definitely help them in wherever they go. I think one other thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about saving 50,000 in a span of 6 months with my 20,000 Kenya shillings salary. I lived with somebody. I lived with a roommate.
Okay.
And so my rent expense was divided into half because we share costed. And so I think that really contributed a lot to my being able to save 6,000 because we were share costing the, is it share cost? We call it share costing. Yeah, we were share costing the rent, right? Cost sharing. We were cost sharing the rent. And so that is one thing you can do to reduce your expenses. If you have a friend that you can live with, just try find ways of just reducing your expenses. If your goal is to save more, then go back to your money, know where your money is going, and just make an informed decision depending on the needs and the goals that you have. I think also it's good to mention that when I was saving the 6,000 every other month, I did not have any responsibilities, such that I did not have like a younger sibling that I need to pay school fees for. And I know right now, I know there are so many people who take such responsibilities, and so I did not have such responsibilities. And so my money was just mine alone. I did not have to share it with anybody. I think that's important to mention.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because other people may say, I have so many responsibilities. I can't even have a shilling in my pocket.
It's true. But even with the many responsibilities, just try save
a little.
Even if it's 1,000, save it. Try save it. It will go a long way.
And then I also think you need to have the right mindset, because ukiwa tu na ile mindset yenye this month I've made this amount, I know the next month I'll get the same amount. Unajua, the mindset that we grow with is that you use money that you have. Most people grow with use money. Pesa imekuja, tumia, next itakuja.
Yeah. And that takes us back to just thinking about your future. It's good to think about the future. Put a little. Even Joseph in the Bible, they did not spend all that, the grain. They had the years of famine, they had the years of plenty, and they had the years of famine. So if they did not save, then the whole of Egypt would have suffered.
Died of hunger or something,
because they saved what they had during the years of plenty, they were able to survive in the years of famine and even help the surrounding people to be able to get some food. And so saving has been part of us, from a long time ago, and it's important for us to think about saving.
Before we finish, since you said, and we all know that budgeting now is what will help us save. So how much should, for example, go to rent, food, and all that, and what percentage exactly?
Okay, so there's this common rule. It's called the 50-30-20 rule.
Yes.
Whereby 50 goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% goes to savings. So the 50%, what we call needs, that is where you put your rent, electricity, water, food. How I did it, and I've explained in a video, is that I also put like my NHIF there, my NSSF, basically everything that I needed to pay. You need to pay. So that goes to 50%. And then 30% is wants. So these are things that you do not necessarily need them. I would say they are luxurious things. You know, you want to buy an extra pair of shoes, you want to buy an extra piece of clothing, you want to go and eat out with your friends, so that would be the 30%. And then the 20% is now your savings, what you are saving for the future. And this can either be an emergency fund where you are putting money away in case of anything.
Emergency,
you might have a car and you get a puncture on your tire, or something happens and you just need to replace something in your car. But you see, you cannot anticipate that your car will break down tomorrow. So if you have an emergency fund, you can take some money from the emergency fund to be able to fix your car if it has a problem. So that's how emergency funds come into play. And then you can now have like savings for, if you're saving for something. Are you saving for a vacation? Are you saving for school fees for your kids? Are you saving for birthday parties or Christmas and all of that? That would fall into the category of savings. That is the 20%. However, I feel like the 50, 30, 20, you can customize it because you know how much you're making, you know what your needs are, you know what your wants are. And so you can play around. You can say, I will spend 50% on the needs, the mandatory things that you need to pay. And then you can say, instead of 30% going into a piece of cloth or a shoe or just going out, you can say, I will limit that to 20%. And then that 10% extra, it can be part of savings. So it increases your savings portfolio. So just ensure that at the end of the day, you have paid what is necessary. You have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, you have paid school fees and all of those things. And then it's good to also have some money to refresh yourself.
You'll need
to
it.
refresh. I know we sacrifice a lot, but you need once in a while go out and
pay yourself.
No, that is actually not the definition of paying yourself, because paying yourself is savings.
Okay.
You're paying yourself for a future benefit. That is not paying yourself, because you'll eat na hiyo chakula itaisha
hapo hivyo.
So but it's good to just don't be too serious, like I'm going to save 50% of my income. You don't have money to go to town and relax with your friends and all of that. So Val, you don't have to spend like all your money. 20% savings, I mean, okay, let's say 30% savings, 50% needs, 20% wants. You can treat yourself once in a while.
Inaitwa kujipigia mwili pole.
Kuambia mwili pole.
Kuambia mwili pole.
It's once in a while, it's good. The problem is going overboard and not thinking about the future, but also it's not work, and you're not able to even enjoy the money that you are making. So just having a good balance, remembering you have a goal, working towards the goal, but also don't be too serious. You can have some little, it's never that serious. You can have some fun. You can have some fun. And probably mention that money, there's a way. Even as we do all that, you can be so focused on I'm saving for a car that money almost becomes an idol, and that is not the point we want to drive here. Yes, we love money and money is important, but it's not an idol. It is just a means to help us achieve some of the goals that we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Today's discussion, mimi nimetoka na points. Ningekuwa na kitabu, I'd now be ticking 1, 2, 3. But one thing I have learned today is that this is a very good culture that everyone must be able to live with from a very, very tender age. So even maybe if you have something else you need to give, some tips you need to give to my audience, or something else you've forgotten you'd like to tell my audience as we finish up.
Okay, thank you for having me, Val.
You're welcome.
About money, I think for me it's just know where your money is going. If I ask you, Val, how much do you pay for food, you should be able to tell me how much do you pay for this and this. You should be able to say, because that means that you are conscious of how you're spending your money. You are conscious of. So Val, if I ask you, like right now, fuel has gone up, gas is going up, the cost of living is going up. And so if you know that you spend 3,000 a month on food, then of course with gas going up and fuel going up and food going up, you know that when you go for shopping next month, if you just pick the same things that you picked, you won't spend 3,000, you'll spend probably 4,000. So now unajipanga, you know that I usually spend 1,000 or 3,000 on going out and eating food every month. Now I need to reduce that so that I can make sure that I still, buy my food and everything like that. Yeah. So that is all. I think that is all for me. Like knowing where your money is going and adjusting as the economy changes. Yeah.
Wow. So maybe just shout out your social media handles so that we can find you and continue with the amazing conversation, because I know you'll still put it out there in your channel.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
it has
welcome.
been a pleasure being with you here at Coffee with Val. As I said, my name is Eva Wambui. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Eva Wambui, on YouTube at Miss Eva Wambui, on Facebook at Evelyn Jerry, or my Facebook page, Miss Eva Wambui. And LinkedIn as well, Evelyn Jerry on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
That's Evelyn Jerry. Is it Evelyn Jerry Wambui?
No, Wambui comes first. Evelyn Wambui Jerry, or Eva is just fine. People call me Eva.
Eva is okay.
Yes, Eva is fine. Yes.
Thank you so much, Eva, for coming here, for making time to come to Coffee with Val show. It's been an honor, it's been a pleasure, and we've learned so many tips. Hapo za savings, and from today, each and every person, chukua kalamu na karatasi, always have a pen and paper. Do your budgeting, do your calculations well, know your spending, track your spending. You should know how you're using your finances. And there's a video you did about where did my finances go, yani unashtukia tu pesa imeisha. That was amazing. You'll follow her on all her social media handles and get that video, itakusaidia sana. And also
you reminded me of something. But guys, go check your expenses for last month, your M-Pesa
statement.
Your M-Pesa statement, or any transaction that you did via M-Pesa the whole of last month, and calculate the transaction costs.
It's a lot, by
the way.
You'll
be surprised.
Unajua nadhani ni 6 shillings.
When they add up, I told you my colleague found that she had spent 3,000 on M-Pesa transactions.
What?
I know.
For what period of time?
In a month. That's a lot of money. You see that 3,000 that it could have easily been taken to buy shares. You could easily put it in your circle. You could easily put it in a money market fund. You could easily pay for insurance or retirement. I mean, there are options. But now we cannot avoid M-Pesa, because M-Pesa, we use M-Pesa every day. But there are ways you can reduce that M-Pesa transactions. Wherever you can pay through till number, pay through the till number. Wherever you can just transact from your bank straight, because my bank doesn't charge me. If I'm sending somebody money from my bank to somebody's M-Pesa, I don't pay anything. So what I do is, that money that I'm supposed to send, if it is in M-Pesa, I put it first in my bank and then I send to that person, and I don't spend 6 shillings or 12 shillings or 20 shillings. At the end of the month, you realize you've saved 500 shillings or 1,000 or even more, that you can channel it to somewhere else that will give you a long-term benefit.
Amazing. I wish you had more time. We need to continue with this conversation because it's a lot, but I'm glad we'll be back next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us during this amazing conversation. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, comment, and let us know the next topic you'd like us to cover. Also, if you have a story you'd like to tell the world to inspire and impact the world, let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much. Make sure you like, share, comment also. Yeah, share with your friends. Also, Eva's conversation on her channel. Make sure you share, subscribe, and let's promote each other and learn and be inspired. Thank you so much once again. This is Coffee with Value.